everyone, I'm here today with the astrology of May 19th through the 25th. This is a very, very interesting week because the theme of the week is change, change, change. Definitely, we're in this energy of we're going to make a change. We're tired of the life that we're living in. We're tired of the box that we've been constricted in, and it's time for us to expand. Anyone that's thinking about having a new job, anybody that's thinking about changing their look, anybody that's thinking about starting a new project, going to school, blah, 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 blah. All these changes are very, very important because they are an expression of self. You're entering into the cycle of awakening, of setting yourself free, and of expanding. So for me personally, I believe that you should keep your eyes open to the potentials that you would like to move forward. Listen to your heart and as it's driving you in directions that are going to be for your greatest good, and also to move you into the life that you know that you really want. This is the time. This is the, I want to say, lunch path for you to be able to create the life that you want. So take advantage of it as long as you can. And like always, if you would like to go directly to the dates of the week, the description part below has a timestamp. If you would like an appointment with me, the only way to do so is through my website. That is in the description part below. And I hope to hear from you. We'll see you the next time. So here we go with Monday the 19th. The moon will be in the sign of Aquarius, and it will create a sextile, which is a big net, in Venus and Aries. So first of all, the energy of Venus and Aries, it creates this energy of following your heart, about having your passions. It's like you're driven to take the lead of your heart and move in a certain direction. Aquarius is kind of telling you, we want to show the world the real light that is inside of us. So imagine that that energy inside of you that says, I just want people to see me for who I am, for what I am, and how I can change this world for the greatest good of everyone. So that is the energy of Monday. I hope it helps you to start initiating that change that you've always been looking for. Okay, so Tuesday the 20th, the sun enters the sign of Gemini. Happy birthday to all my Geminis. I have so many Geminis in my life, so happy birthday to you all. 3 of my babies are Gemini, so I'm excited about that. And then, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, besides entering Gemini season, the moon is entering Pisces and creating a sextile in Saturn in Pisces. This energy creates a lot of intuitive hits, a lot of imagination, a lot of expansion. It's kind of like your mind is going a million miles a minute of what it is that it wants to create, and your intuition is kind of on point, especially since Saturn is on Pisces. So it creates this control of your emotions. So you're not like, all these ideas are coming in your head and then you're overwhelmed with all the emotions that are coming through it. No, that's under in check. And instead it's just a lot of downloads, a lot of clarity of to what it is that you have to do. I would tell you that this day is really important for you guys to have a really strong spiritual practice. So if it is talking to your higher self, it is and talking to your ancestors, to your guides, or to whatever version of God that you would like to believe in, this is the day that you should do that. You should create that communion so that you can have clarity, because the entire week is one of really great manifestation. And if you already create that bond, it creates a clarity as you move forward. You have less doubt inside your soul. So very, very good day to connect to your spiritual team, and very, very good day to write down whatever ideas come to you. Hope this helps. Here we go with Wednesday the 21st. The moon will be in Pisces, and it is creating a sextile with Mercury in Taurus. The intuitive hits from the day before are going to be very important for this day. It's kind of like a carryover of those intuitions. But now with the energy of Mercury in Taurus, I feel like you're very clear as to how you're going to vocalize that change that you have to create. So expect yourself being clear, being direct, being precise, because you know what direction you want to have with your life, and you know how to vocalize it to the people around you. That is super important, because sometimes we have a lot of wants, needs, and desires, but we don't know how to tell the people around us. And this day, it's kind of one of those things, and that you're like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm feeling that I want inside. And so now I'm going to tell all these people what I need, what I'm trying to create, what I'm desiring, and how they will fit in that idea for myself, for my future. So a very good energy of communication, of connections, but also of grounded energy. I feel like you're going to be very grounded, very precise, and very clear about how it is people will fit in your energy, or certain situations will fit in your energy. I hope this helps. So this Thursday is a wow day. So we have the moon entering Aries. This makes you like a leader. Venus in Aries, which makes you listen to your heart. A trine, which is like a triangulation of energy of moon in Leo. This time, because the energy is very positive, moon in Leo is one of those energies where your ego is you're listening to your ego. You're very masculine. You're very driven. You're very able to create a lot of change. The sun will be in Gemini because we're in Gemini season. That gives you the ability to see things in many different angles. And then we have a sextile, 6 points, which is your big net of Neptune and Aries. Neptune is your intuition, your inner self, your higher self, connected in Aries, which is in alignment with the moon and the heart. So this is putting your money where your mouth is. This is where your heart is aligned with the same thing that your mind is aligned to. And I'm in this big believer that when two energies agree, it becomes law in the heavens, right? So as above, so below is very active this day. Whatever it is that you've been really, really, really craving to create, craving to do, if it's a new workout regimen, a new food, eating regimen, a new activity, a new education, it doesn't matter what it is, but there's something new that wants to enter into your life. You're no longer in this victim mentality. You're no longer holding yourself back, and you are really driven as to what it is that you would like to create in your life. These are potentials for the energy. It's important for me to tell you that, because though this energy is here, if you don't do nothing with this energy, it won't help you. But just the most minuscule little change that you make during this energy, it will create like a whirlwind in your life and start moving things forward. So I would say this day is a day for action, more movement, more assertiveness in your behalf, because you're creating a new reality for yourself. I hope this helps. All right, everyone. So the 23rd, there is the moon will be in Aries conjunct Venus in Aries. This is super important. This is the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. These days are being influenced by the 26th, which there's a full moon in Gemini. That moon, if you guys saw the astrology for May, you already know the 411 about this moon. But this moon is one of those moons where you can ask and you shall receive. As long as your actions align to it, as long as you start moving forward, you will create the reality that you want. Okay. And so this 23rd is the beginning initiation of it. Moon in Aries and Venus in Aries. That means your emotions and your heart are in the same alignment. This is all about emotions in your heart. This is all about you telling yourself, I want this and I will make it happen because I want it with all my heart, all my mind, all my soul. And because of that, it's this energy of creating some immense change. And this is exactly what I feel in that new moon. The full moon was kind of jacked up, but the new moon is this energy that can definitely help you lance forward into the reality that you want, as long as you channel it correctly. Very, very important that during this time of the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, right? During that period of time, you stay positive, you stay enlightened, you believe in magic, you believe in strength, you believe in growth, because what you focus, you channel your energy on during this time will bring you what it is that you're trying to manifest. And in this case, I feel like a lot of happiness, joy, and also autonomy. I feel a lot of us, what we want is to be allowed to be ourselves, be allowed to be authentically ourselves without having to fit into somebody else's mold. I'm not saying that it's not important to be part of a community, but sometimes that community is oppressive. And right here, it's kind of like, I do not want to be oppressed. I want to be me. And that is the driving force of this moon, but also the driving force of this day. So take advantage of it, okay? All right. So this Saturday, the 24th, is super interesting. I feel like it's an initiation to what this full moon is all about, because the new moon on the 26th is all about bringing in manifestation into your reality. But this day, the 24th, the Saturday, has so much happening with it. The first thing we have is the moon in Mercury will be in Taurus. The moon and Mercury, will be in Taurus while there's a conjunction in Uranus and Taurus. That is super important. Why? You will find yourself in your head a lot. this Saturday, kind of thinking about, who am I? Who do I want to present myself to be in this world? How do I become that authentic version of myself? Is this the reality that I want? With that energy of Uranus and Taurus, you might feel like you have been placed in a box. You've been limited. You've been restricted. You've been told who you're supposed to be, and that is not you. So the initial energy of all this Taurus and the moon, Taurus and Mercury, Taurus and Uranus, is literally all telling you, who am I? And then really grounding yourself into that person of who you are. Then we continue on, and the sun will be in Gemini because we're in Gemini season, while there's a trine in Pluto and Mercury. What is this? This is the energy where you're starting to notice every single thing you have done in your life to accommodate what others want from you. You know, your family wants you to be this, your friends want you to be this, your partner wants you to be this, your work wants you to be this other thing, and you're constantly wearing all these masks, so much so that you even forgot who the hell you are. And this energy of the trine and Pluto and Aquarius will make you feel like, I just want to be me, I just want to be my real me, right? It might make you feel a little triggered, make you feel even a little resentful, because you feel like people just want you to be something other than you. And it's like, what's wrong with me, right? I just want to be me. And that's the energy that's going to be pushing you and pulling you during this time. Because if you're going to manifest something, you first need to know who you are that you're going to manifest, right? And then the last part of it, which is crazy and very significant, is that Saturn is entering Aries, and this will be in effect until April 13th, 2028. That's a 2.5 year cycle. Aries and Saturn together is the energy of karma and dharma, however you want to call it, good or bad energies. But what this is all about is you're being triggered to identify you, who you are, what's your likes, what's your dislikes, what you no longer line up with, and whatever. And in this cycle, you're going to be ruffling a lot of feathers, pushing a lot of buttons, and moving in a lot of different directions as you start to develop the person that you are, right? So it's kind of like, I know, no, I don't want to take you in such and such place. No, I don't want to be this person. No, I don't want to be that person. And it's 2.5 years of just self-identity, and then creating those healthy boundaries, creating those situations in which you are asserting that foundation that you have decided, this is who I am. So this is a really, really interesting energy. It really feels to thine self be true, right? So who are you truly, and pushing forth that agenda, even though it might feel uncomfortable for other people. So keep that in mind. We'll see you next time. Finally, we get to the end of the week. This is Sunday, the 25th. Mercury will be in Gemini. That is crazy because Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini. So expect amplified energies of Gemini, which is really having a lot of ideas, really being very communicative, very much the chameleon energy as you start evolving. And then we have a sextile in Saturn in Aries. Now, if you remember, I told you Saturn in Aries is that energy of karma, and there's a sextile. So this is throwing out and casting out your net. This energy for me feels like you will be amplifying the extent of change that you are trying to bring into your life. So I'm not thinking you're just going to talk to family members and tell them, I don't want to do this anymore. This is like talking to family members and creating boundaries, talking to friends and creating boundaries, talking to social groups and creating boundaries, talking to work and creating boundaries, and all happening at the same time, because you are literally in this energy of, I'm going to make this active change. The only thing that I would like to make you mindful of sometimes when we start creating change, because we're just fed up and we want things to happen, right? We do too many things at once, and there's a possibility of burnout. So as you're initiating this new change in your life, as you're starting to move forward, and as we're coming into this manifestation of the new moon, realize that the more parts of your life you change at once, the harder it is for you to maintain it. And my personal belief system is slow and steady wins the race, because then you can solidify a change that will be consistent throughout, and then it becomes you and you can continue with the next thing. For me personally, I think you should focus on the area of your life that is bothering you the most for this moon. We'll have ample opportunity throughout the years, these 2.5 years, to continue creating shifts, but just focus on one aspect, and then move to the next thing. So I want to say these last 3 days are a perfect time for you to start thinking about, what area in my life do I feel the more restriction on, the more frustrated with, the more with? And that's the one we're going to target, focus on, and change. Okay? I hope this helps you. It's an amazing week, and we can make a lot of active change. The only thing you need to do is make the choice to do so. Because though the astrology is out there to create a reality that is aligned to your greatest good and divine purpose, unless you're willing to knock on that door, unless you're willing to walk, and unless you're willing to take some kind of action, nothing's going to happen. I hope you choose you. We'll see you the next time.